I'm Dennis Wirth of the Comedy Kitchen, and you've just entered the oven. Welcome to episode 36 of the Comedy Kitchen. Today we're going to be making some beef teriyaki Japanese style, which is actually different than the Chinese style. And for today, I usually get comics who don't know how to cook, but today I got a guy who does know how to cook. Welcome to the show, Dennis Fogg. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing, man? You psyched?
I'm excited, man. Anytime I get around the kitchen, I have a good time.
You're ready, right? Because usually I get comics who don't know how to cook, but you're like a professional cook, right?
Well, a little bit of both, yeah.
A little bit of both. I got the one question everybody out there in TV land wants to know. How do you be a cook and not end up like this? How do you stay so skinny, man?
Well, the trick is to have a wife who works with you that checks everything that you eat.
Oh, I got you. So if you eat something wrong, it's
Oh, yeah. I pay for it.
whack, right? You know what? That's what we're going on. All right. So you're making some teriyaki here?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Before we get going, tell the folks, how'd you get started in comedy?
Well, I've been doing comedy about 20, 30 years, and the thing is, I went to a show one time, and you know, I was with my wife, and I thought to myself, well, I'd love to do that. And she told me, she goes, well, don't come back 20 years from now and tell me I stopped you from doing something.
Don't regret it, yeah.
So just go and do it. It's been a lot of fun. I meet a lot of new people, and it's great.
Meet a lot of great people. How long have you been doing it for? How many years?
About 20 years.
20-year veteran of the comedy scene.
But see, I started out when I had 4 kids, and so you can't really travel.
That'll slow you down a little bit.
So by the time the kids get out or they didn't care if I was home or not, then I started.
That's
really
when you can
thinking
really get serious about it, right? All right, can't make teriyaki without what?
meat.
Yeah, beef. We got some sirloin strips here. Thin strips, better the better. We'll open those up and throw them in a bowl there.
Sure.
And we'll get cracking.
I'm always good at handling the meat.
All right. I bet your wife thinks that too.
I hope so.
All right. All right, we need 2 tablespoons of rice wine. We got your rice right there. We got your tablespoon.
Yeah.
And we can throw them right in there.
2 tablespoons. You got to be able to see these things. There's one.
All right.
The yellow one.
Boy, this could be a team action here. Uno. Dos. All right. Then we need 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Got our soy sauce. Got your teaspoon over there.
Teaspoon. I do.
Teaspoon.
Orange. Is that the right one? No, that's a half.
That's a half.
We're getting there.
Yeah, they're right there. The yellow one. Little yellow. That's the big yellow one. Little yellow one. That's the one we're looking for. Whoa, that's a heaping one right there. I'm used to the team action here. 1, 2. All right, you want to grab your spoon right there, maybe mix that so all the meat is coated, please. It's already smelling yummy.
It's the soy. I just love anything with soy sauce.
All right, Dennis. So all the years you've been doing comedy, what's your favorite memory in comedy when you look back? What's that?
I think that the best one is one time I got to do 4 shows in one night.
That's a busy night.
Yeah, but the thing that stood out is I began to cross. I forgot I did different jokes, or I thought I had already done them, because it was like every half hour I was on a different stage, and it was very strange.
That must have been close with the traveling. You must have been flying around. Yeah.
Well, it was 2 in 1, and yeah, basically I had a
pretty much,
person
right?
in the car ready to go as soon as I got off stage the first place.
People don't realize how much traveling you do in comedy. Yeah, I remember I had one week, it was 7 shows and 5 nights, and I was just...
And you're usually by yourself when you're traveling.
Yeah, and after working a full-time job and doing comedy, I'll catch up with you after a while. It gets to be a lot, but it's a fun little hobby, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot better than playing darts.
It's much funner than doing darts. All right.
Yeah.
So, got the olive oil over there. I want to just coat a little bit in the pan here of olive oil if we could. Looking good. All right, we'll roll that around a little bit. All right, you want to grab our beef and throw it right in there if you would.
Shall.
Do-do-do. This is great. See, most people would be scared by now. All right, so we got our marinated beef in here. We want to get that cooking up on a medium to high heat here. And all right, I'm going to throw our cover on here. Let that cook up for a little bit. Meantime, we're going to throw some honey in our little pot here.
I like the honey.
And about 2 tablespoons of bear honey, not bee honey, because it's like Winnie the Pooh. All right, so I know you own a restaurant up in Maine, and tell folks a little bit about your restaurant.
Well, it's called Uncle Andy's, and it's in South Portland, Maine, and it's a diner, basically. It's been there since 1954. I bought it about 15 years ago, and it's a lot of fun. It's very early. It's tough to do the comedy thing at night, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And
do a full-time job at the same time, right?
Yep. My whole family works with me. It's pretty neat. I got my wife, got my son working with me, all my daughters.
A family diner. It's
I
a
even got
family
my
experience, right?
granddaughter. She's 6 years old, and on Sunday
Beautiful.
she comes in and begs money and waits tables and stuff like that. It's a lot of
Helps
fun.
out, right? If you help out with the family. So who is Andy? Do you know who Uncle Andy is? Or?
Yes, well, Andy was one of the originals from 1954.
50.
And then when I bought the place, I figured I'm not going to change the name.
Change
What
the
am I
name.
going to
It's
call
known,
it?
right,
What am I going to call it? Denny's?
Denny's, that's been taken, right?
Yeah, maybe Sambo's.
All right.
That was taken a while.
So if I head up to Andy's, what's the one dish I got to try?
Well, my cinnamon rolls are the best.
The best?
I make
That's
the best.
popular item?
And they're huge. They're the same size that Princess Leia wore on her head in the Star Wars episodes.
Really? You're getting the big cinnamon roll?
Oh, yeah, the big ones, yeah.
And you eat some of those, you know what's going to happen? It's going to
Yeah.
happen right there. But that's great. We don't care about that.
That's just part of growing up, right?
That's right. Now, so we'll take our meat bowl out, throw our sauce bowl right over here, and we need a quarter cup of soy sauce. You can get your
Quarter cup,
over
yep.
there.
I can see
Got
that
our
real
soy
good.
sauce right here. You can throw one of those right on in there. And
Because you can't do Japanese without soy sauce.
no, you can't do much Chinese or Japanese without the soy sauce.
Right.
All right, keep your quarter cup because we need a rice wine, quarter cup of that. Throw it right on in there if you would, please, sir. Looking good. And we need 2 tablespoons of the cooking wine, which I got right over here. We'll swap right out. Look at this.
All right.
We're making a good cooking team here,
2
Dennis.
tablespoons, right?
The big one, big yellow one. Or the green one. Hey, we got 2 tablespoons out here. Whatever you need. Yellow, green, whatever color you prefer, like the Green Hornet.
Yep. Color
right.
coordinated.
Turn our beef over a little bit here.
2. That smells great.
It's getting there. All right, Dennis, one of the things that I was excited about when I had you on as a guest, and I'm a big fan of the show, I know you were on the television show Restaurant Impossible, which
Yes.
I'm not yelling at you, so already you're doing better than me.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit, what was your experience like doing that, being a comedian and a cook? And
Well, that was great. First off, all my kids, I knew nothing about it. We watched the show all the time, and all my kids, at the end of the show, it tells you if you're interested to email them. And my kids did, and a couple of customers and stuff, and they called me up one time, and Mark Summers called me up, and at first I didn't believe it, but we did the show, and it was great. And the strangest thing, if you watch the show, I wanted to be that restaurant that wasn't dirty, that when they went through, because there's nothing worse than acting like you didn't know they were coming, and they find like a dead elephant in the corner.
dead rat behind your grill or something.
So
right?
we scrubbed that place from head to toe. I mean, it was done. And then miraculously, somehow, they
still found
some
some.
rotten strawberries in my refrigerator, which weren't there. But that's the magic
That's
of TV.
the magic of television right there, right?
And people ask me, they go, "Is that your favorite show?" No. It's not. He yelled at me more than my wife does.
Yeah, that's half the entertainment of the show, I think.
yeah.
He's trying to drill some sense into the people that he has on there, but...
And I live in Maine. I live in Portland, Maine. And his big answer to everything was lobster.
Maine's known for its lobster,
But I mean, as if we didn't know that. I mean,
Yeah, right. That was foreign
It's like,
to me,
whoa,
living in Maine.
surprise, lobster. That's the answer.
How much lobster do you do at breakfast, though? It's not really a breakfast.
Right. And so it's a little
Give me some
different.
pancakes and lobster. I don't know
He
about
wanted to show me a new lobster roll.
lobster
Ooh,
roll.
You know what he did? He
You
buttered-
never had one of those before, have
No,
you?
he buttered
Man.
buttered the roll.
You buttered the roll?
Ooh, that
Haven't
was
heard of that
fancy.
before.
I
Wow.
never- that was just.
These are some cool cooking tips he's giving you here, right,
I
man?
bet he's gone to school for this.
But I mean, being a comedian and being on television had to be a great moment
Oh, it was
just to
great.
be on TV. And I know you did some comedy that night at what, Headliners, right?
Yep, at Headliners that night because he didn't believe I could do both. And so we set up a show, and he came to the show, and then halfway through they had to change the storyboard around and prove that, yes, I can do both. Now it's time for me to leave the diner, which I'm not going to leave the diner. I can do both.
You
Why
can
would
do
I do
both,
both?
right? Yeah. You got to give it up to go do comedy. Now, even some of the biggest names in comedy have daytime jobs. Everybody thinks, I mean,
yeah.
unless you hit the real big time, it's a fun hobby, though. We're having fun.
Oh, yeah. And it
All
gets you
right.
amongst other people, and we get to drink liquor.
And that always helps, you know. Good food, good liquor, good laughs. All right.
right.
So we need 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. You get brown sugar over there.
I do. Light brown, even.
There you go. We got our color-coded tablespoons here, whichever one you like to choose.
Which one is it? Table?
Yes, sir. 4 tablespoons. We are going to take our honey right off.
Right in here?
Yes, sir. Right on the burner bed. 1, 2.
Do you know what makes it brown? What's the difference between brown and white sugar?
What's the difference?
Molasses, a little bit
color?
of molasses. I think it's a little bit of molasses.
All right, you see what we got here? Can you zoom in? We got a smiley face right here.
Ooh.
A smiley face on our spoon. All right, so, and That's a mom pack job right there. All right, so you take a spoon, mix the brown sugar in if you would.
That is a smiley face. That's pretty cute.
See that? Hey, we're all happy here on the Comedy Kitchen.
Yeah. Pretty soon
Looking good.
We'll be making Kool-Aid. You gotta love Kool-Aid.
All right, Dennis. We have a section of the show that's called Funny Food Questions. You ready for a funny food question?
Of course.
Of course he's ready for a funny food.
Oh, yes.
Which pocket am I in? I'm over here. All right. Here we go. Dennis,
Yes.
if you went grocery shopping and you came home with some finger Marie, what do you think you'd be coming home with?
Egg yolks?
Egg yolks? Good guess. Let's take a look. And crackers. You'd be coming home with some finger Marie crackers and
I figured just a girl I knew in high school.
I'm just glad I'm not Marie, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Would you buy some of the finger Marie if you went grocery shopping?
Oh, yeah, you'd have to.
You'd have to. I mean, how could you not buy some of the crackers? All right. Hey, who knows how much they're selling? I don't know how much they're selling.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting going here pretty good.
That's almost worth it right there, just the smell coming off the pans.
That's half the fun of cooking is the
It is.
smell. You know anything better than the smell? Is the end when we actually eat, Dennis. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move out our sauce right now. We're going to grab our third bowl. And we need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch in there, if you would.
1 tablespoon.
You're getting good with the tablespoons there, ain't you?
Go with yellow because it's dry.
There you go. All right, a little bit, maybe a heaping spoon, a little bit more there. All right, that's good. Now we want to add just a dab of water to that. Remember when you were in school and
Making a roux?
you were making a art project? Remember Elmer's glue?
Yep.
That's what you want it to look like. A little bit of Elmer's glue right there. Not too much, not too little. Just get going like a pro over here.
I know.
Dab more. We just want a light coating on the beef. We don't want too much. You don't want it to be breaded. You just want a light coating for crunch.
Yeah.
That's looking good. All right, Dan, you want the magic moment? You grab your sauce here, and we want to pour that right over our beef, if you would, please. And now it's smelling really yummy. All right, want to get that turned in there. Sauce there a little bit so it all gets some.
Don't they look good sizzling like that?
It's looking yummy, smelling yummy, and in a few minutes it's going to taste yummy. All right, Dennis, I know doing comedy, it's fun. Like you said, you meet a lot of great people, but some nights are better than others. Some nights you hit the drunks, you hit the hecklers, and we've had some crazy stories on the Comedy Kitchen. What's the craziest thing ever happened to you in comedy?
Well, what I find is hilarious is when people like open the door up for the hecklers. You know, the first heckler, it's just somebody who wants to be involved. But basically, I've seen some real professionals shut them down, bang. But I've seen some people just allow them to come in and just overrun them, and I find that hilarious.
Take over the show.
Because we do so many shows that the shows that stand out are the ones that something goes wrong at, and I think that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, if you can turn it into something funny, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always funny when it's one of your friends that just seems to bite it right.
They want to get involved. They think they want to be you that night.
No,
right?
when it's
they're not helping you.
When it's them on stage, it's getting ripped apart.
That's always funny.
That's always fun because then you got to ride home with them, and you're in the car with them for about an hour listening to the whole story and how it happened.
What's the worst heckle you ever get hit with? You remember?
Oh yeah, one time the worst one was somebody told me to stop telling jokes and get back in the kitchen and clean up some.
Really?
And it was from my mom.
Right, well, you don't want your mom. What are you going to say to your mom? If your mom's your worst heckler, you got some issues there, man, right? All right, so here's what we're going to do. All right, you want to grab our thickener?
You got it.
Roll that right in there if you would, please. Looking good. All right, I'm going to set this off.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, that congealed right up.
Now it's starting to thicken right up here. See how quick that's working? All right, Dennis, when you were young and you were thinking about doing comedy, who are some of the mainstream comics that inspired you to want to do it?
Well, it's hard to say because my favorite comic of all time is Bill Cosby, and it's tough because he's in the limelight right now and stuff like that. But you've got to take his work first off. I don't know
Separate it from the personal life.
Enough to say he's a personal friend of mine that I really. But his comedy was great. I remember having the albums and playing the albums.
Sure, we all grew up on
it. To my brother Russell, whom I slept with, and he had some Fat Albert jokes. It was just amazing to watch him weave a story. And it just goes to prove that you don't really know somebody just because you see them and you think
Don't
you
know what
them,
they're really
you
like
don't know
in their
anything.
personal life.
Yeah.
That's right. But you can't argue his body of work. I mean, if you separate that from his personal life, you cannot argue the
He's a
man's
genius,
work.
Yeah.
Comedy genius. And who knows, you know, we weren't there in his personal life. How can we say what happened? I know the media likes to take stuff and run with it. I know that, so
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fire where this smoke is.
it's not us to judge what's really going on there, right?
Right.
That's right. All right, so next thing we are going to do, well, actually, before we get to that, we actually have a mascot here on the Comedy Kitchen.
You got a mascot, yeah.
We got a mascot. His name is Bobo Banana. He's our banana on the street. He's out at local restaurants doing food reviews. Want to check out what Bobo's at today?
I'd love to, yep.
Let's check it out. Where's Bobo? All right, we are down here at Clockwork Pizza on Pleasant Street in Leominster, Massachusetts. We are with Bobo Banana. And what are we reviewing today, Bobo? We got a Hawaiian specialty pizza. Let's take a look at that. All right, and what's your review, Bobo? Bad review on the specialty pizza?
That's strange because they usually have great pizza.
Maybe
you
we'll
know.
want to get Restaurant Impossible over there and straighten them out a little bit, but
You don't see a Rastafarian banana guy that often.
see, you can't argue with a banana, right? Banana
Right.
tells you what's going on. That's what, it was a little bit dirty over there at Clockwork Pizza, and like I said, you got to clean, man. That's part
You
of
got to.
part of cooking. All right, on the local scene, who are some of your favorite comics on the local scene to work with?
Well, Mark Turcotte's one of my favorite. But,
Sure.
But I think Rob Steen, I don't know if you ever get to work with
Yeah,
Rob
I've worked
Steen.
with Rob. Funny
but he's
guy,
one of the
great guy.
funniest guys I know. And, you know, he's a great booker, too. But I tell you what, when you see him on stage, you understand why he's been around forever. And
He's
he
a veteran of the comedy
Oh, yeah,
scene.
he changes like every 5 years. He mixes things. I mean, he's just a chameleon when he's on
And you know what he does is hard to do? He works cleaning comedy, which is very difficult to do.
Oh, yes.
And
He does a lot of corporate
funny
spots
guy
and stuff.
cleaning, yeah.
Yep.
He's a
Louis
big-time
Remy.
booker.
Louis Remy's another one
Louis
in the area.
Remy?
He's
Haven't worked
done
with him
very
yet?
good. Oh, he's hilarious.
All right.
And of course, Bob Marley's from Maine, and that's
Bob Marley, he's been big time, he
that's
said,
big.
right?
You know, if you're going to talk Bob, you got to talk Bob.
We're trying to get him on the Comedy Kitchen, and we've been in touch with him, so keep your fingers crossed, folks.
Yeah.
Comedy Kitchen, Bob Marley, we'd love him. All right, let's swap out. We're going to throw a plate right over here.
That's
All
the best
right.
part right here.
We're getting there. All right, so we'll let you. Here's your spoon. You want to roll the beef right onto the plate there, if you would. All right. A little bit of the sauce you want to cover them with. Looking good. All right. Maybe grab this spoon here, and you just want to lightly coat those with a little bit of honey. Just sprinkle a little bit on there.
Nope.
A little tough honey. We took it off the burner a little quick, huh?
Yep.
All right, here's what we do. We set it right back on the burner. Well, this one's already hot. All right, so we've already talked about, you know, where you perform. Where are some of the rooms they can find you if they want to check out Dennis Fogg's comedy?
Well,
Where they go?
in Portland, my home base is the Gold Room. The Gold Room is the
Gold
best.
Room?
But in Manchester, I'll be at the
Radisson?
the Radisson, and that's the
That's
best
a
one. in
great
New Hampshire.
room,
That's
yeah.
a great room, and basically you can catch me just about everywhere.
Do a lot with Headliners Comedy Clubs? All
Yep,
right.
I work at a lot of the headliners comedy clubs.
So
a lot of
if,
colleges.
if people want to find you, you got a website, Facebook, YouTube, where you at?
I'm on Facebook, of course. Website, I do my own cable access show. You can get that at Comedy 101
Comedy
on
101?
YouTube and stuff like that.
You're on YouTube with that,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Everything's on YouTube, even like private stuff that you don't even want to know.
Oh, yeah, hey.
It's crazy.
We'll
It's
catch
crazy.
Dennis up in his restaurant, okay? So what is the name of the episode on Restaurant Impossible if they want to check it out on YouTube?
It's called No Laughing Matter.
It's No Laughing Matter.
Which is pretty neat. And if you watch it, you'll notice that they put in a rule just for me. It was called the hands rule. When we start to fight, if the director put his hands up, I had to walk away without saying another word, and you could catch it a couple
Not
of
easy to
times.
do, yeah. When you're
Yeah.
upset, just
Oh,
walking
yeah.
away is not an easy thing to cover.
It happened.
All right, so let's say years from now, you get done your comedy career, you look back at everything you've done. What are your goals you haven't accomplished yet? What do you want to look back and say I did? What would you like to, where would you like to end up?
I'd love to go on like a USO tour. I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
USO, sure.
I don't even care if anybody pays me or anything, just to get out of there with the troops and stuff like that.
Like a Bob Hope type thing, right?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of friends who've done it, and they say it's just amazing. You know, because basically you
sure.
become a property of the United States government for a week or so.
You already are, so don't be fooled. We're already property of the United States government.
And they bring you all over, and it's really good. And I've also, you know, watched some of my family grow up, and my nephew's now doing it, and he's hilarious too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty cool to watch.
It's always good when you can do what you love to do and give back, and I know benefit shows are some of my favorite shows to do. Help people out and do what you love to do. Win-win situation. There's no losing right there, right?
Yeah, and it also gets me out of the house, because You don't know. You know, with 4 kids, sometimes I'd do anything to get out of the house.
Anything get out of the house, right?
Especially a lot of the comedies in the wintertime.
Sure.
So you get out of the house in a snowstorm and stuff like that. It's like, no, honey, I got to go 3 hours early in case I can't make it.
Got to go make them laugh. All right.
Yeah.
How's our honey doing here?
How's my honey? You're looking pretty good.
All right, well, let's heat it up a little bit here. Let's see what we can do. Do.
That's the trick.
And we're going to drizzle just a little bit over here. And you don't want much, just a little bit to add to the taste. All right. Turn our heat off because we don't need any heat going at this moment. All right, Dennis, we got some scallions here. Gonna hand those to you. We can clear your cutting board off. Grab a knife right out of our block there.
Got enough knives to do a remake of Carrie.
And hey, we could cut anything up here on the Comedy Kitchen. And just some thin slices we want just for a light garnish. So maybe
All right.
there's a man who has used a knife before right there. Because most comics you get on here and they're like, a knife, what are we?
No.
Yeah, okay, I don't know how to cut. But not you. You know what you're doing. We're looking good. Way too much. There goes our spoon. But we're done with it, so that's good. All right, just sprinkle a little bit on top of our beef there. Little handful, maybe. Looking good. And our final ingredient is we got some sesame seeds.
Ah,
All right, if we can get it open.
you can open sesame seeds. huh?
Open sesame. Maybe sprinkle a few right on top of those. And again, just a light garnish. We are good. All right, let's hope our
looking
camera can get
professional.
right in on that. All right, and take a look at that. How's that looking right
Wow,
there?
that looks professional.
Japanese style, which is different than your Chinese style, which would be on a stick without your garnish. And the sauce is a little different. So, Japanese style. You ready for my favorite part of the show, Dennis?
I am, and that is. Oh,
You know what it is. It's the
Yeah.
baby. Fork for you.
Thank you.
Fork for me. Plate for you. Plate for me. Maybe grab the end one right there for
I'm
yourself.
thinking.
And I'm gonna grab this one right here for myself. You ready?
Oh, yes.
Go for it. And what's your review, Dennis?
Perfect.
Like Bobo, right? Dennis, it's been my pleasure to have you on the Comedy Kitchen. I hope to check out your restaurant and your comedy, and we'll get together sometime. Hope you had a good time.
Oh, I did. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Until next time, remember, eat well and laugh well, folks. Good night.
Thank you.